Queen Mother, I'm going to fault you on something. I'm going to blame you on something you did, but that doesn't mean your outburst during Justice for Mohbad weren't justifiable. It is indeed justifiable. And also, I'm going to talk about Very Dark Man, his effort, his rigorous effort trying to whitewash Naira Marley. First of all, I'm just going to say it is useless, it is baseless, it is needless, right? But let me first talk about why I'm going to fault Queen Mother, Yabojo. And the reason is because when you were told that your son, Festus, when he visited Naira Marley's house, his drinks was laced with these drugs that you're trying to pronounce. I think you said I think it is methamphetamine. This is a art substance that is not supposed to be in the possession of any individuals in Nigeria, even though we have a large market for it now in Nigeria. And this drug is being abused by most of the youths in Nigeria. Queen Mother, when you heard something like that, as at the time God told you, what I expected from you was that you should have petitioned Naira Marley. I expected you to make a formal report at the police station. Naira Marley should be called in for questioning and also charge him to court, because that is an act of criminality. For lacing someone's for someone's drinks with drugs when you did not seek the consent of that person. God told you. And also you visited DJ Splash. And that is why I'm going to say that Naira Marley is a menace to our society. And all this whitewashing that VDM is trying to do, I'm going to come to it. When DJ Splash mentioned this thing to you also, Queen Mother, at that point you were like a soldier in the battlefront. You were shot, you were wounded, you were injured. Mohbad also is more or less like a soldier that is being killed in the battle. But you're trying to get his body out so that you can deliver it to, get justice and, fight and forge ahead to make sure that you win the battle. But you've forgotten that you have to escape yourself from that injury. You are being injured. And the injury is what Naira Marley did to your son. In the quest for seeking justice for Mohbad, what you should have done is, take a little step back to address that issue and leave someone else to spearhead it while you support, and also pursue your own case with Naira Marley for lacing your son's drinks with drugs. And that's the only area I'm going to fault you, because that is what you should have done. And that is why VDM have the whole effrontery to come out and trying to whitewash Naira Marley for Nigerians. This is someone that his character is questionable. And Queen Mother, your outburst during the justice for Mohbad, in that quest, it is justifiable as a mother. I have said this times without number. There is nothing anybody can say. As a mother, you cannot hear something of such. Of course, emotions will roll in. And that is exactly what you have done. But when you're supposed to focus on your own and charge Naira Marley head on, face him head on the issue that concerns you yourself. Yes, you've tried to save your son, but at the same time, did you know, I'm very sure you know, the lives of the youth that are in jeopardy, that have been jeopardized while with Naira Marley. One of them is DJ Splash. And if not for you, that you stepped into that boy's case, only God knows what would have become of that boy. by now, because to clean those things off from his body is going to take a whole lot of money. And that's the only area I'm going to fault you. But your outburst, it is highly justifiable. Now back to VDM. You have been using your platform well. You have been doing everything to make sure that we have a egalitarian society. You have been using your voice to make sure that you speak for the voiceless. But you bringing back justice for Mohbad, and you are saying that you're going to get justice, that this is the time, you just have the time to get justice for Mohbad. Excuse me. Is this how to get justice? I wish you have watched Akeem seeking justice, because that is what I'm expecting at the end of the day. Because at the end, Akeem got justice for himself without the help of the government. Because we already know we have a porous justice system. Our security operatives, they are corrupt. But when you came and you said you want to take up the case and you want to get justice for Mohbad, I thought at first, okay, let's see. Even though all parties have failed, everybody just turned to content creators all of a sudden on this case. Iyabo Ojo tried. They reached a logical conclusion on Mohbad's case. At least they did autopsy. They forced the police command to set up a coroner inquest. And they've reached a logical conclusion, given a verdict. Yes, Naira Marley has been exonerated, that it doesn't have anything to do with the death of Mohbad. But did he bully Mohbad while he was alive? Yes. Did he indulge the youth in using drugs? Yes. Because there are evidences. And someone like Naira Marley shouldn't be going all about like a saint, like someone that should be glorified. Now that, okay, the coroner said he's not a culprit in Mohbad's death. But we can say for a fact that he bullied the guy. Him and Sam Larry bullied him. And that is where I always say this, the rate at which Nigerians undermine the role of the press. I can tell you for free. If the likes of Fisayo Shoyombo, a renowned investigative journalist, step into this case at this point, I can tell you that he's going to come out with something tangible beyond what the security operatives have done in getting justice for Mohbad. Everybody just turned this thing to content creation, and you're just, making the whole internet go crazy about this attitude that is not going to even bring any justice to anything. VDM, whitewashing Naira Marley is a fruitless effort. Everything you have been doing is just, is like you are wasting people's time. It's just that the rate at which the government is playing on our gullibility in this country, same way some people like you are also playing on the emotions and the gullibility of Nigerians. You have been doing well. No doubt about that. You have been using your voice and your platform. And we are giving you that kudos for doing what the government are supposed to do, what the security operatives are supposed to do. You are stepping in and calling out those illegalities and criminalities in the country. But on this case of Mohbad, you have practically wasted Nigerians' time. Because this whole justice for Mohbad issue is like content creation to me. Now, what justice have you gotten for Mohbad now? Rather than you coming out to whitewash Naira Marley and Sam Larry. Is Naira Marley a saint? No, he's a menace. In my own opinion, he's a menace to our society. And like I said earlier, DJ Splash is a critical example because it was under his care for a while. And look at what you know, it became of that boy. If not the likes of Iyabojo that stepped in, only God knows how will the family take care of that boy. Look at the way he speaks. Look at the way he is, or he was at that time. Before Iyabojo and all people seeking justice for Mohbad step into that boy's case. So what are you saying? In a sane society, Naira Marley should still be in the custody questioning him. Naira Marley is not the only person that owns record label in Nigeria. Go and check YBNL. I'm going to use that as an example. Olamide is one of the greatest record label CEO, if not the best. Go and check every person that went under his record label, that came out of his record label. They are doing fantastically well. And everyone, even the ones that had a controversy leaving the label, you will never see Olamide bullying them or chasing after them. Have you ever seen anyone have you ever heard of any case that Olamide laced somebody's drugs, or in YBNL building they are lacing artist drinks or food with drugs? You're not the only record label owner, excuse, for crying out loud. We have Don Jazzy. We've never heard something like this. And that is why I said you are a menace to our society. So VDM, you trying to whitewash Naira Marley, it is a fruitless effort. The old justice for Mohbad that you just came up with all of a sudden, it is useless, baseless, and it's purely waste of Nigerian time. And it is because we don't even know what we are doing, because the government keep riding on our gullibility, and even the so-called people that have voices, and they can just come and ride on that gullibility anyhow. You have purely wasted Nigerians' time. That is what you've done. We have a lot of issues. You have been doing well. Stay focused. Don't come and tell us that, okay, this Naira Marley now is a saint, is an angel. Excuse me. From where to where? No. We may not have been, coming out to speak on so many issues, but that doesn't mean at the back end we don't have sense. We are following issues back to back. But on this one, Very Dark Man, you're very, very wrong. You're very, very wrong. If you have personal issues, face personal issues, don't hide under justice for Mohbad to be throwing stones and throwing, jabs at each other. It is wrong. My name is A.Y. Bello. That's all I have to say.